Yeah, Armstrong, he's an exciting talent. I've seen him a number of times now playing, albeit with West Ham, under 23s football, and I think he's been performing very well, scoring goals. I've seen him playing wide left, but I know he can play on either side, and he can also play through the middle as well. So he's somebody that we've had an eye on a long time, and I think it's a great opportunity for him to come in and express himself and show people what he can do. So definitely looking forward to working with him. Yeah, Will. I think he done his ACL against Leicester. I was watching the game on TV and I fell for him, and it was a nasty injury he picked up. But one thing's for sure, I think he showed his character, his resilience to work through it, and he's back to a really good level of football now, at football fitness. He's played 3 games, 3.5 games at the minute, so he's up to a nice level of competitive minutes in his legs. So it'd be great to have him on board again. I spoke to him during the week. He's really looking forward to coming in, and I think everybody knows what a potential player he is, because Southampton think extremely highly of him, and so do we, so to bring him in, he's athletic, he can see a pass, he's very clever in possession, and as I've said already, it's just we as a staff, we're looking forward to him coming in. Yeah, they changed significantly. Probably, I think Tonali would be the only player that's involved that was in the last campaign, and the last time we played Italy out in Italy, and we were told it was their under-20s that we were going to play against because of the COVID issue with their starting team, but it wasn't. They brought in players of age at the time, so it's a new group, but Italy would be an excellent team. Believe it or not, I think they're a better team this time around than what they were last time. Like, you've got Tonali, he's more experienced with having a campaign under his belt. He's playing in AC Milan's first team. You've got a boy Lovato who plays with Atalanta. He was on the bench last night against Manchester United, but he's played in Serie A games. They've Ravella, who plays with Genoa, playing Serie A week in, week out, and there's a lot of players who are playing in their first teams. And as well as that, you've got a couple of Serie B players. There's a boy, Luca, plays up top for Pisa, and they've a midfielder and a wide player, Colombo, who play with Spal in Serie B. So these players, they're playing first team football, so it's a great test for our group, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to match ourselves up against one of Europe's better teams. John, how are you?
Are you both surprised and delighted, or just one of them to still have Gavin Kilkenny? He's been playing really well of late.
Yeah. Look, I'm delighted that he's with us. I think he's come on leaps and bounds. And it just shows. Playing first team football, how quickly you can develop playing, and the level he's playing at. The Bournemouth, they're top of the championship, and he's played a fantastic role in all the games. Now, albeit the last game they played against Redden, he came off at half time, but that was purely tactical. I think he was on a yellow card at that time too. But he's, for me, if you would have asked me 3 years ago would I see him playing in that particular position, I would have said no. but you know, he's certainly surprised me. But working day in, day out with these players, you know, Scott Parker obviously seen something that he can play in that midfield deeper role, or pivot is what they call it now, and he's done the job excellently. You know, some of the games he's played in West Brom at the start of the season, I thought he was outstanding, and a little bit surprised that when he came back with the 21s that he was totally left out of the team and the bench, and he was out in the cold for a number of weeks, and he came with us in the last window and continued where he left off. He done well, you know, so looking forward again to working with him, and yeah, I'm delighted that he's with us.
Jim, I know it's slightly off topic, but today Shell's obviously announced a new manager. Most people think they know who it is anyway, but for you, obviously I know you're a Shell's man, and it seemed, you know, they went down last season, came back up. Are you excited to see how they can go now in the future, and have you seen much of the surrounding topics around it, because I know you were linked to the job as well?
Yeah. Look, I have a deep affiliation for Shelbourne. You know, with the number of years I was playing with them, and you know, I've had a hell of a lot of great memories with Shelbourne. Made a lot of great friends, and whether they're supporters or ex-players, and I was there for the last game of the season to see them lift the trophy. So you know, it just brought a lot of things back to myself when I was there as a player. But no, look, it was just purely speculation. I'm in a privileged position, that's for sure. But you know, the name that's cropping up, and I think we're all aware of who it is. I think it's a great move. I do. I think for our league, for Shelbourne Football Club. Do we all know who it is? Yeah. Is it for sure, or are we all just still speculating here? It's Damien, yeah. Okay. Well, look. Yeah. But no, look. You know, if it is Damien Duff, I think I think it's fantastic for our league, for Shelbourne. I really admire the pathway Damien has taken in his coaching. You know, when he came to Shamrock Rovers 15s, he didn't have to do that. You know, and he decided to learn his trade there. Then he went to Celtic, came back to Shelbourne 17s. He didn't have to do that, but he came back and developed himself even further. And I had the privilege to see him work in the pro licence, and I think that's where you get a real taste of somebody's passion and work ethic, and that's what he done in the pro licence. Anything that was asked, whether it's assignments, he went above and beyond with that. But with regards to his appointment, I think it's great. I'm delighted, and I think he'll take Shelbourne to another level for sure.
Just keeping with the League of Ireland, a lot of League of Ireland players in the squad. How do you kind of compare from the time you played to the standard that's there now? I know it's a lot of younger players coming through over the development league, but surely the standards getting raised every year. That's what it seems anyway. Yeah,
the level of football. I think the whole sort of summer football was a real injection into more technical players being developed. You know, and you see it now. You see, really good surfaces that these players are learning their craft on, and we've got Colin Whelan coming in, Liam Kerrigan coming in, for example, and two technically really good players, and Colin Whelan can score goals, and I think he's in the first division at the minute, but I still think he'll score goals, and wherever he goes, because we've seen him at close quarters in training, and it's an art that he has. And with regards to Liam's exciting, wide player. See him playing as a 10 as well, and again another technical player who I've seen at Sligo many years ago, and I said he's somebody certainly to keep an eye on, and he's certainly fulfilling his promise. And whether the two boys stay at UCD, I don't know, but I think they can certainly play at a higher level.
Yeah, definitely. Well, best looking games of the day this morning.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you very much.
Anybody else in the live section?
No, with Andrew Moran, we're sort of, I felt it was the best decision to go and play with the 19s. Why? Because for his own development, you know, rather than coming in with the 21s and playing a cameo role in the 2 games, I just felt to go and to play 3 19s games, you know, in a competitive tournament, you know, will certainly be more beneficial for him. I went to see him at his game last night. I went over to Northampton against Brighton. I was delighted to see him playing. He done really well in the Papa John's Cup, and himself, Evan Ferguson played, and James Furlong played left back too, you know, so it was a good game to get to, where the 3 lads done really well. So with Louis Watson, I think it's, you know, with Will Smallbone coming in, you know, it's a competitive area of the pitch, the midfield section, where you've got Gavin Kilkenny, you know, he's playing first team football. Conor Coventry at the minute, he's in and out, so it's a difficult area to break in, and look, Louis, you know, he's a talented player, and he just needs games at Derby. And I do think Louis is probably caught between this rock and a hard place, where he's involved with the first team a lot on the bench, but he's not playing actual minutes because, you know, fear if he gets injured with the 23s, you know, the first team won't have him, you know. So that's the reason behind those two.